Mr. Del Campo. Just a quick note. If you are watching this video, you're doing this assignment only if you have not been to class, okay? And if you haven't been to class in a while, I hope things are getting better. I hope you're recovering, and I wish you the best, and I hope to see y'all soon, okay? So I wanted to do this video to give you all some advice and also maybe some ideas as you're thinking about how to solve this problem. The first thing I want to do is something that you should have already done. You should have underlined what you needed to do. So it says here that your job is to write 2 different algebraic expressions. Okay, now algebraic expressions, now remember, an expression has numbers and symbols, okay? Now, when we're talking about algebraic expressions, you're also thinking about variables too, okay? So like expressions have numbers and they have operations like plus, minus, times, or divide, but they can also have variables like x, y, and z, okay? It just so happens that we're supposed to use the letter D for our expressions, okay? So you might be writing something like this, who knows, okay? So that's that. Let me go ahead and erase it. Oh, well, I'll just leave it, okay? But let's go back to what you're supposed to do. Your job is to write 2 different algebraic expressions that represent how far a student travels by bike in a 4-week period. Okay, so if you look at me real quick, we have to figure out how far or how much students are going to travel on a bike going to school and going back home for 4 weeks, okay? So your job is to figure out how far is a student going to travel by a bike for 4 weeks, okay? Going to school and going back home. But keeping in mind that there is 1 rainy day each week, okay? There's always going to be 1 day during the school week when it's going to rain. And when it rains, they don't ride their bikes, okay? Because it says here they always ride unless it rains. So if it rains, maybe they're taking the car or the bus, who knows, or they're walking to school, okay? So just keep that all in mind. Now, I want us to think about this problem some more, okay? So I wanted to give you all some ideas to think about as you figure out this question, okay? And keep in mind it says, yeah, so I don't know if I really mentioned this very well, but we're going to use the letter D for the distance in miles from a student's home to the school, okay? So nobody's telling us how far is it from home to school. So if no one's going to tell us how far it is from home to school, we're just going to use the letter D, okay? This is the letter D, okay? No one tells us if D is equal to 10, 11, who knows what, okay? We don't know what D is, all right? So the one thing to think about while you're doing this question is I want you to think about traveling in a day, all right? I know the problem says 4 weeks. All right, I know the problem says 4 weeks, and it's right here. It's a 4-week period. But think about a day, okay? How would you picture this situation? How would you draw this situation, okay? So in class, some of your classmates started drawing a house, okay? So this represents home, and other people started drawing the school building, okay? And here's the student right here. The student is riding a bike with my best, beautiful drawing of a bike. Okay, and this person has to go from home to school on a bike and from school to home on a bike. Okay, so, and remember this. How far is it from home to school? Well, we don't know. No one's gonna tell us. It's just the letter D. Okay. And to go from school back to home, how far is it? Well, it's also going to be the letter D, okay? So if I ask you this question right here at the top, how far did this person travel in a day? Your expression, your algebraic expression might be d plus d, right? Because you're putting those two d's together. So this is an answer, okay? But what's another answer? What's another expression? Well, so pretend this is 1d. This is another d. What's 1d plus 1d? If you put it together just like this, if you're looking at my camera, you would say it would be 2d. Okay? So for this question, how far did this person travel in a day? You could say that the expression is d plus d or 2 times d. In other words, 2 groups of d, 2 of these d. Okay? So, I hope that gives you some idea on how to solve the question that you all have to do. Okay? So, do some drawings, if that helps. And then also, write your expressions. Okay? So I hope this helps. If it doesn't, just let me know. Feel free to contact me if you need help. I hope I hope you're recovering. I hope things are getting better. Take care of yourselves. All right, bye.